Life in Lagos did not get easier for us. In fact, it became worse, much worse. My mother took us to a very small rented room in Ajegunle. The room was so tiny that even silence felt loud. Every morning, before the sun came out, we woke up to grind beans to make akara to sell at the junction. I couldn't attend school because there was no money for fees. Instead, we hawked on busy, dangerous roads, selling anything we could carry just to survive. I knew one bitter truth. No one was coming to save us, not even our mother. Hunger lived with us every day. We ate leftover food from dustbins of richer people. Our meals had no nutrients. We only ate to stop the pain in our stomachs. Soon, men began asking for our hands in marriage. My mother did not check character. She did not care if the men were kind or violent. She only cared about what they could offer. I thought I had found someone different. His name was Monday. He wasn't rich, but I hoped he had a gentle heart. We got married legally, and my mother was very happy because she believed one burden had left her shoulders. The first year of the marriage was calm, like the silence before a storm. Then Monday began displaying his true nature. He was a heavy drinker. He drank so heavily that his voice changed. Alcohol changed his face. He returned home angry, loud, and ready to fight. Whenever I asked questions, he beats me, even when I was pregnant with our child. I cried into my pillow at night. The walls heard my pain, and the ground carried my tears. Why must I suffer both in childhood and in marriage? I asked myself over and over. I hoped things would change after giving birth, but they didn't. I had my first child. The beating continued. I had my second. The pain grew sharper. I had my third. The suffering grew deeper. I paid all hospital bills alone. I bought food, clothes, paid the rent, and raised the children alone. Monday did nothing but drink and beat me. He beat me when there was no food. He beat me when he was angry. He beat me in front of the children. One night, after a terrible beating, I looked at my 3 children sleeping on the floor, and something rose inside me. Something fear had been holding down for years. I decided to leave. I took my children and walked away, choosing to become a single mother than to endure torture. All in the name of keeping my marriage. Yes, I became a single mother, wounded but very determined. My mother blamed me, but I didn't care. I was determined to raise my 3 children with or without their father. I sold vegetables in the market. I carried firewood. I walked long distances under the hot sun. I skipped meals so my children could eat and attend school. My hands cracked from work, but my heart stayed soft. My children saw everything, my pain, my courage, my sacrifice, and slowly they grew stronger. Years passed. Vera, Collins, and Samuel made me very proud. They all became very successful that I couldn't believe I was a parent to them. The family's name was brought to limelight because of my 3 precious gems. People admired them, but they didn't know the fire that shaped them. Years passed. One quiet afternoon, I sat and remembered my life. The empty nights in the village, the 2 a.m. knocks, the stolen chickens, my brother's death, my suffering parents, my violent marriage, my nights of crying alone. I thought my story was already complete, but something greater was coming. One day my children told me to follow them. They said they had something to show me. I followed quietly, not knowing what to expect. When we arrived, I froze. Before me stood a large, beautiful, luxurious house in Lagos, bigger and more beautiful than anything I had ever imagined. The compound was wide. The walls were bright. The house looked like a dream. My children smiled and said, "Mama, this is your house. Everything here is yours. You will never suffer again." I covered my mouth, my knees weak, tears rolling down my cheeks. My suffering had finally turned into a blessing. I looked at my children and whispered, "This is the harvest of my suffering." And they replied, "Mama, you taught us strength, survival, and love. This house is small compared to what you deserve." I cried warm, joyful tears. My story, once filled with pain, hunger, fear, and loneliness, had turned into victory. I whispered God used my children to change my life. And truly, my children became the real life changers because my life has been changed completely through them. Moral lessons from my story: a mother's sacrifice is powerful. Much love to all mothers out there struggling just to see their children successful. Also, Pain does not last forever. My years of pain and tears did not last forever. Remember too that your beginning does not decide your future. Hard work and goodness always return with blessings. Children who understand their parents' sufferings grow into great adults. And no matter how broken life leaves you, you can rise again.